Hello and welcome to the Village of North Hudson President Candidate Forum. My name is Mary Claire Olson Potter, and I'm so pleased to welcome you all here with us today. During this forum, we will hear two candidates that are running for the Village of North Hudson President. So at this time, I'd like to have us meet the candidates. So we have Angie Barker, and then Stan Wecken, who is the incumbent current president. So I have a series of questions that I'll go over, and we will take turns between the two of you alternating those responses. So Angie, I'd like to start with you and invite you to tell us about yourself, your background, and your qualifications.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and share a little bit about myself. My name is Angie Barker. I've lived in North Hudson for about 4 years now when I bought my home here. I grew up in Baldwin, and I graduated from Baldwin Woodville High School. I raised my family in Baldwin. I have an amazing daughter and son-in-law. I have 2 grandsons. They all live in Elmwood, Wisconsin, another small town. I live with my significant other, Chase, and his 9-year-old daughter also lives with us part-time. I love gardening. Being in nature, crafting, spending time with my family. I love researching my family tree, and I really love coffee. Got to put that in there. Professionally, I'm a cardiac nurse. I've worked at the bedside for over 20 years. My nursing experience has taught me the importance of attention to detail, effective communication, and collaboration. I've served in many leadership roles, including mentoring new nurses and serving and leading committees in my hospital that have implemented many positive changes. I have strong leadership and communication skills, a passion for public service and community, and an eagerness to learn from and listen to colleagues with more experience than me. I also have a proven track record of collaboration and teamwork, and I will always be a strong advocate for our community and our residents. And that's about it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Stan, please tell us about yourself, your background, and qualifications.
Alrighty then. Well, I'm like Stan Wecken, and I tell people when I meet them, I'm about as local gets. I was born and raised in Hudson. I graduated from St. Pat's Catholic School, Hudson High School, class of 72, the greatest class ever, and attended the University of River Falls. I worked at many of the local businesses around through high school, and whether restaurants or several of the local factories, Anderson Windows included, and I different places. And back in those days, you could move around a lot, and it was and it was always to get more experience. I met my wife, and we got married in 1980, and we have 2 grown sons. We built our house in North Hudson, Cedar Drive, that we are still in 1984, and we've got gardens. We did have chickens, but we don't have chickens anymore. But we experienced a lot of we love gardening and taking care of our pollinators and our bees and stuff. I'm retired in 2014 after 33 years, and I was elected to 2 different terms as a trustee. The second term I didn't finish because that's when I ran for the president, because our president ahead of me was, he says, "I'm done. Do you want to do this?" And I said, I really didn't want to do it until I retired, because I know it takes a tremendous amount of time and stuff to be able to make meetings. I know that in 2013, most of my vacation went to attending meetings and seminars and stuff in order to learn the job, because there is a lot to learn to do this. And I've had now since 2013, I've had plenty of time to get the experience to understand how the village works. I think we've done an absolute great job as far as being able to be responsible for our portion of the tax dollars. mean, most people, I don't know, they always look at you like, well, my taxes went up. And I said, well, if you look at the line items, the village taxes went down. And we've tried to do that and still maintain the level of services that we have. And it was mentioned earlier, if people watch the trustee forum, that there's a lot of collaboration with Hudson. We're dependent on them for fire. We're dependent on them for sewer and water. And so we don't have a lot of control over some of our spend. And so that's one of the reasons that, I tell people, hey, there's nice to haves and there's have to haves. And so we try to work out a balance. And, I was also on different boards, throughout my career, Hudson Rod and Gun Club and the Richmond Golf Course. I'm board of directors for both of those back in the day. So I've got plenty of experience. And if any of the people that worked for 3M or are watching, they know that you're very familiar with meetings if you work at 3M, because that's a very busy place now. It's a lot different than when I was there, but no, I have very much enjoyed this, and I will hopefully continue to work for the village to keep it affordable.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to go on to our second question, and I'm going to start with you, Stan, is why are you interested in serving as president of the village board again?
Well, we've had several things, go on to different projects, and there's, we've got a big project coming up now this summer for, the Monroe Street up by the school, sewer, water, and redo the road and add sidewalks there so the school kids can, have a little bit better to walk on. And there's several other areas that we've got projects going with Hudson. I, want to follow up and make sure that, because it's not always been an easy negotiation, down there, but we do get along pretty good, and I'm happy to try to do this one more time, as I like to say.
All right, thank you. Angie, why are you interested in serving as president of the Village of North Hudson Board?
Thank you. I wanted to run for village president because I'm passionate about making an impact in our community. As a resident, I see the village's potential, and I'm motivated by the desire to give back to our community. North Hudson has been my home for several years, and I've benefited from the strong sense of community, my wonderful neighbors, a peaceful, safe environment, and the beautiful surroundings. I want to ensure that our village continues to be a great place to live, work, and raise a family. I've seen the importance of effective leadership and governance in making a real difference, and I'm committed to listening to residents and working collaboratively with the trustees, the village staff, and making informed decisions that benefit our village as a whole. I do have the time and the flexibility in my schedule to dedicate to this position.
All right, thank you. Our next question, and Angie, I will start with you. What do you see as the most important issues facing the village in the next 2 years and beyond?
Well, I've been listening to the concerns of our residents, and I've been researching the challenges facing our community, including looking at the comprehensive plan survey results. Based on this, I have identified some issues that I think will need some attention over the next 2 years and beyond. One is our neighborhood infrastructure. As I've been talking to residents, there's a real concern for a lack of sidewalks, as well as maintaining our parks and our community spaces. Another is environmental protection and ensuring that our village remains a healthy and sustainable place, excuse me, for future generations, with a focus on preserving our natural spaces and protecting our air and our water. Of course, there is always the issue of money, and ensuring that our village is managed in a financially responsible and sustainable way so we can make strategic investments in our community's future while still maintaining our character of the village as a place where we know our neighbors and where we can all take pride in our community.
All right, thank you. Stan, I'll ask you the same question as what do you see the important issues facing the village in the next 2 years and beyond?
Well, next 2 years. Well, the biggest one is being able to afford these services. You know, I mean, it was mentioned earlier with levy limits and not much growth. We don't get any kind of a real boost from the state or whatever to be able to do that. So you really have to try to balance out how our taxes are being used. I know there's been a lot of complaints about our waste management, garbage service, and what we're doing. We're working with them. We've got a new customer service guy that's been, I guess, a lot better to work with, according to Gina, our most wonderful administrator. And we're trying to work on that. There's also a group that's up by Somerset that you're going to be some of these smaller waste haulers that are around the area will be able to use that, because that's been always a holdback. Is that well, waste management's got a place over across in Minnesota, and these little guys they just couldn't do it. But now with the place up in Somerset, there's a good chance that we'll have more people bidding. I mean, we had last time we put it up for bid, we had only two people interested. Waste management was one, and the other one was hard to believe, but they were higher priced than waste management. So that was a tough one. I know that we talked about the concerns and stuff for sidewalks. We have money set aside, and we've got a grant or money from the state to help us improve and repair the sidewalks, that we have. The ones down in the old part of town, I call it, because, from 6th Street down to the shop yards, that was, they've got sidewalks, but they don't, they're definitely in need of some repair down there. Other areas, that we're trying to, clean up and take care of. So there is, I mean, a lot of the roads are meant or are wide enough, and that was one of the, back many years ago, they said the roads are wide enough that people and vehicles can get along. If everybody's got to pay attention. That's a big thing. I always said, I've done it at a couple of meetings. It's like, hey, if you're walking, face traffic, then you can see somebody that's not paying attention coming at you. I mean, it's something that I thought they taught us in school. Bicycling, you go with traffic. Walking, you go against traffic. And that's everybody's responsible for their safety. And then the biggest one, I think, is the fire and the sewer and water. Now, the fire department is they're a fantastic group of people. Drew Spielman, the new chief, is a wonderful guy. We've got a great working relationship, and I'm on the fire board, so I get experience with those guys. But there's starting to talk that we don't have, our median age is upper 40s for our firemen, and a lot of them work out of town. So getting enough people in the truck to get to an event is sometimes challenging, and so they're talking about going with some full-time people. Full-time firefighters cost a bunch of money, but they had the foresight when they built the new fire hall that there is accommodations for them, so there wouldn't have to be an add-on for that, and so that's a big one. And then there's always a new truck, and when the new fire trucks, I don't know, I think all of them now are at least $1 million. And so those are a huge concern. And then sewer and water. Sewer is a big one because as Hudson grows, the capacity at the sewer plant is, down on 2nd Street, or 2nd Street to me, but down there is getting close to being at capacity, and we definitely need sewer. We can't build our own plant, just like we can't build our own fire department because of the money involved. So we depend on Hudson for that. And like I said, I've worked with the mayor and with the different departments down there to try to make sure it's like, hey, look, help us here. You're wiping, you're killing my budget. So those are the two biggest, and like I said, that's why I wanted to keep running, is because I'd like to see these things get taken care of so that the village can remain the village and we have the services that we have.
Very good. All right. Thank you both. So the next question, I'll start with Stan. And what are some of the key areas of the municipal operations in the village that you believe could be improved in the next 2 years, and what strategies would you propose to address them?
That when I saw that question, it was hard because we are just absolutely blessed with the staff that we have. I mean, our police department, we finally filled out, and we just swore in our newest officer on Saturday. And when I talked to him, he said he's committed to be here for decades. And that's what you like to hear when you're talking police, because that's a tough job right now. There's no question about it. And so we have that to look forward to. Our public works crew, Matt and his 2-man team. All right, there's 3 guys that plow the 18 miles of road that we have in the village, and cul-de-sacs I don't think are even included in that. And we haven't had a ginormous snow event, but we've been fortunate enough to be able to buy equipment that the 3 of them can handle. Matt says, we can do this, and I says, as long as somebody's not on vacation or sick, because we had that issue last year, I think, with our one snowstorm. But so we're working, with those guys. Gina is our administrator clerk, is fabulous. Nathan, our treasurer, absolutely fabulous, and Susanna, I wish, she's retired, but she comes in and helps us out a couple days a week, and she's been invaluable to help with Gina, and she helps with Nathan, so she does both, clerk and treasurer's work. So we're trying to get the stuff, be able to afford it, right, with the budget we've got, and I think we're doing a pretty good job.
All right, thank you. Angie, what do you see as some of the key areas of municipal operations in the village that you believe could be improved in the next 2 years, and what strategies would you propose to address them?
Well, I think that we can always improve communication and be more transparent between the public and the government. I'm committed to improving the flow of information between the village government and the residents. I think that making sure the residents are educated on what tools are already available is a good starting point, like our river channel, the website, YouTube, but also collaborating with the board and village staff on other creative ideas to help engage and increase communications and transparency. Also, I think that ensuring that our village's infrastructure, including sidewalks, roads, and parks, are maintained, and continuing to develop the village comprehensive plan will help guide and prioritize those efforts. One of the fundamental responsibilities of local government is to plan for future growth and development of the community. The village comprehensive plan has not met its potential to guide budget decisions and planning around parks, sidewalks, trails, retail development, waterfront access to Lake Malilu, and clean water. We're still struggling with the blue-green algae in the river and poor quality of water in Lake Malilu. And then and sustaining the quality of life in our community depends on following a vision with priorities that drive smart planning and infrastructure investment. Also, ensuring that our village is managed in a financially responsible and sustainable way. And that's through supporting village staff in assisting in policy direction as determined by the board. So,
All right. Well, thank you both. We are now to the end of the questions, and this is the opportunity for you each to add any additional comments that you'd like to make tonight. So, Angie, I'm going to start with you.
thank you. Well, during my chats with residents all over the village, I'm hearing that it's a time for change in leadership. I believe that my unique blend of healthcare experience, community involvement, and a passion for public service makes me an ideal candidate for a village president. I'm excited about the opportunity to work together with residents, the trustees, and village staff to address the challenges and opportunities facing our community. I do have a website, if anybody would like to check me out or email me through that. It's Angie4NHVP.com. So it's Angie, the number 4, NHVP.com. My email address is on there. You can also just Google my name, Angie Barker, North Hudson, and I'm at the top of the list. Because I want to talk to people, and feel free to email me. I encourage all residents to get involved in the election process, ask questions, seek out information about all the candidates and their vision for the village. Together, we can build a brighter future for North Hudson. Also, make sure that everybody votes in the spring election. It's April 1st. Tuesday, you can vote by absentee. You can vote in person, early in person at the Village Hall. And then you can also, if you're not a registered voter, you can vote at myvote.wi.gov, or you can contact Gina, our village clerk, at the office here. Election information is also posted on the North Hudson website. Lastly, thank you, Mary Claire and the River Channel, for the opportunity for me to share about myself and my thoughts and my ideas. And I hope that to earn the trust of the North Village community. So,
Thank you, Angie. Stan, any other additional comments you'd like to make tonight?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say it's been an honor and to serve the village for, well, it's almost a decade now, and I think we have done a pretty good job. But the people are fabulous. I mean, like I said, I grew up, with running around with the kids, classmates and stuff like that from North Hudson, down in Hudson and stuff, when you used to be, you went out in the morning or whatever and you came back before the lights came on, or the street lights came on and stuff. And, the village is, it's changed considerably. We don't have a lot of room for growth and, because we're kind of landlocked here, and so that's a tough opportunity. We do have some housing, in the future up in the northeast corner, up at we call it the Zappa 40, but and most people know that. But and they're planning and for sidewalks and for wide roads, and that's the infrastructure is. I'll ask anybody and go look at our roads compared to a lot of them around here. We do a pretty good job, and our boys are like I said, there's only 3 guys. And they're all hard workers, and it's been fantastic. I forgot to say earlier, with the improvements, I would like to see more folks volunteer for committees. I mean, we have openings for committees. I mean, I beat the bushes with all my friends and stuff like that, and around here, it's like, well, I don't have time, or a lot of them still do serve, but But yeah, there's all kinds of room there. We're trying to work, with our parks commission and stuff like that to improve the parks we have. And down the road, there's a lot of talk about the new park down we're down by the dams, and so that's been a discussion that's been going on. And yeah, it is just, I love the village in North Hudson. It's I wish that we had more money to be able to do more things. I mean, that's one of the hardest things, that I have to tell people is like, hey, that's a great idea, but we just don't have the funds. And that's a hard thing to do, but, I think we've been responsible for how we spent the money, and I would continue to be a champion of that.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for participating today, and we appreciate your willingness to serve and continue to make the Village of North Hudson a great place to live, work, visit, play, and do business. So thank you both very much. Just a reminder to get out and vote on Tuesday, April 1st. And for the River Channel, I'm Mary Claire Olson Potter. Thank you so much.